All right, we're talking about linear functions, specifically linear expressions, equations, and inequalities in one variable are about using algebraic methods to add or subtract polynomial expressions. And then yesterday, you also determined the quotient of polynomial expressions. Today you have a quiz simplifying expressions noted in the left-hand column under unit schedule. And so today, before you take your quiz, we're going to complete the expanded map under the first bubble. And then I'm going to go over problems in the second bubble. All right. So our first question today says, the sides of a rectangular house are 5b minus 2 and 4 plus 4b. Write the expression that can be used to find the perimeter of the house. Well, if I'm going to be applying UPS check tells us to first understand the question by underlining key terms and highlighting important information and the question. So in this question, I'm going to underline the word rectangular, which implies that this house is shaped like a rectangle. And I'll make a note. A rectangle has two parallel sides of equal length and two other parallel sides of equal length. So unlike a square, these four sides are not all equal. Then it says, write the expression that can be used to find the perimeter of the house. Again, an expression includes numbers and symbols separated by addition or subtraction. Numbers, and I'm going to abbreviate, symbols, separated by addition or subtraction. Okay, the other word I notice is perimeter. Perimeter tells us the measure, this is the measure of all the sides, or the sum of all the sides. And in this case, all the sides of this rectangle. Okay, now I'm going to take my highlighter and I'm going to highlight important information. And important information here are the side lengths of this rectangle. And I've highlighted them in yellow. Okay, now let's go to our plan. Well, I want to draw this rectangular house that we're talking about. And I'm also going to label this rectangular house as side lengths 5b minus 2. And if this side is the same as this side, then it's also 5b minus 2. And then on the other two sides, I'm going to put 4 plus 4b and 4 plus 4b. A common mistake I see in this type of problem is students will take the two pieces of given information and add them together. However, that doesn't represent a rectangle because a rectangle has four sides. All right, now that I've labeled my rectangle, I'm now going to add all the sides together because that's what perimeter is the measure of. It's the measure of all the sides. So P can be expressed as, or perimeter can be expressed as 5b minus 2 plus 5b minus 2 plus 4 plus 4b plus 4 plus 4b. And notice I've added side 1 plus side 2 plus side 3 plus side 4. So I have 4 sides that I'm adding together, and they're all expressed as expressions. Okay, now I'm going to apply distributive property because I noticed there are parentheses. And so what we're going to distribute, remember distribute means to multiply. I'm going to multiply 1 times 5b, 1 times negative 2, 1 times 5b, and 1 times negative 2. I continue, 1 times 4, 1 times 4b, and finally 1 times 4 and 1 times 4b. Oops. Okay, now I can multiply. And again, I'd invite you to use your calculator to double check. Also, whenever you start to do this step, be careful when you're multiplying times negative numbers. I notice many of you are forgetting that negative and simply multiplying two positives. So if you see subtraction inside the parentheses, know that number is also negative. All right, I'm going to continue here. 1 times 5, 5b. 1 times negative 2, negative 2. 1 times 5b, 5b. 1 times negative 2, negative 2. 1 times 4, 4. 1 times 4, b, 4b. 1 times 4, 4. And 1 times 4b is 4b. Now, in order for this to be an expression, I should have a plus sign or a minus sign between each term. Notice that some of my terms here are already negative, which also serves as a subtraction sign. So I don't need symbols there because I already have this negative that serves as a minus sign. Everything else is positive so that I can go in here and add plus signs. So again, if something is positive, then you're going to put a plus sign in between. If you have something that's negative, then that serves as your minus sign in between. Okay, now I'm ready to combine like terms. How do I know that? Because there are no more parentheses, and I have no more parentheses because I've already distributed or multiplied. Okay, I'm going to use purple to identify my first set of like terms. So here 5b, 5b, 4b, and 4b are all like terms because they all have the variable b. I'm going to use my calculator to add these up. I'm going to be adding 5 plus 5 plus 4 plus 4. 5 plus 5 plus 4 plus 4. And I end up with 18b. I'm going to write it up here because I'm running out of space. Okay, now I'm going to take a different color and I'm going to combine now constants. These are terms or numbers that stand alone. And notice I'm circling the negative because it is part of that number. Negative 2, negative 2, positive 4, positive 4. All of these are like terms because they are numbers that stand alone. And so into my calculator, I'm going to type in negative 2 minus 2. Notice I didn't add an extra minus sign. It's just the negative in front of that 2. Plus 4, plus 4. And I get positive 4. So what did we just do? We just added all 4 sides of this rectangle and then simplified our expression to find the perimeter. Now, I would double check each step right here, and right here to make sure that I've multiplied everything correctly. Do a double check. It doesn't hurt. And Also make sure that you have finished combining like terms. So make sure that you have no more constants that can be combined and no more variables that can be combined. Notice in our answer, 4 cannot be added to 18 because 4 does not have a b variable. So we're finished.